So how we are going to evaluate, like what are the test cases, and what are the test execution results, what are the requirements. So how we need to come across all those concepts. So that is a very important that we called as a requirement RTM. RTM is requirement traceability matrix. So in real time, this is a very important concept to track our activity. Okay, so what is the progress of our work, and how many test cases are passed, what is for particular software, how many requirements we estimated. So that will be covered as a part of the requirement traceability. Traceability is specifically we called as a, yeah, I'm not, so requirement traceability is the main purpose of the traceability is to validate all the requirements are checked via the test cases in a single document. Okay, and we'll come across the conclusion of the deliverable also. And what are the parameters we'll included in this RTM is, so requirement ID, requirement type, and the description, and test case status, and test case ID. So like this it will be. So the requirement ID will be the 11. So description will be about what is the functionality. So that functionality will be the part of the description, and for that functionality of the module or features, anything, it will be like we call as a feature or module. So for that we'll make a test cases of 1 2 3. So it is the number of number IDs of the test cases. Okay, and for each and every test case we'll have the status filed or paused or not run, hold, and such things will be, it will give about the status. Okay, so like this, the traceability will be added as a part of a test engineer. Okay, so next coming to the traceability. So what are the other parameters data will be covered is, so the number of requirements and the average number of test cases written for one requirement, how many test cases we written, and what are the total requirements we consider, and what are the number of test cases we executed, what are not tested, or how many are passed or filed, and what are the how many defects we raised for the tickets. So what are the critical defects, what are the highly impacting defects, what is the medium impact, so defects, and what are the customer defects. So that will be considered as a part of a traceability. Okay, so now we'll understand about the unit testing. So unit testing is a type of software testing which is done on a individual unit or component level. Okay, so it is also a part of a white box testing. As we know about a white box testing, so unit testing we are doing on the individual modules. Okay, so where we focus on the small units, so just we are giving the input and observing the output. So this will be done by the developers. Okay, so the examples is like about checking out the functions or loops or some of the calculator functions. So that will be defined as a unit testing. And integration testing. So integration testing is, it is a combination of all the units. So like example, if you say these are the unit models. Like if you say first one will be the sensor, and second will be the switch, and other one is the part of the component like a motor. If you say this is a motor code, and this will be the power supply one. So it have three different units. Okay, three different engineers started working on the development of activity. So the integration person will be there, so he will collect this information of all these models and will be combined. This will be a part of a software integration. After this software integration, what they will do, so unit level testing they will do from here only. Okay, and again that will be done by the developers here. So here uh, the after integration, so here they will do the unit level testing. So in AutoSAR, as I told you, in the BSW software, no, that is a base software. So here they will do as a part of a base software unit level testing. Once this is done, they will go with the software or system integration testing. Okay. So once this software integration or system integration done, they will do the system testing. This is a part of software or system integration. Then they will do the system testing. Okay. And once this system testing completed, then they will go with the deployment. So like that, the process will go. So as of now, we discussed about the unit level testing, and now we are into the integration testing. So integration testings are units are combined and tested as a group. So generally, the who have a knowledge on the programming level, so they should understand the code of those all modules and while doing the integration. So this is done by the integration process, and he will collect all the multiple models and he will make it a he will make into the single uh, page kind of thing. So that will be the integration. Okay, so generally the definition will be the flow of data or interfaces between the two futures, uh, like whatever the models are combined together, so whether those two models are working or not. So that is done by the integration testing. So integration testing is the integration is just a combination, how this combination is working or not, whether it is a worked or it is filed. So that will be done by the integration testing. So when we are combining the two different models or two different features or two or more, so we need to do the some part of testing. So whether it will be the software testing or integration testing, system integration testing, so that will be a part of the integration testing. So we need to check the what are the integrated components, that whether it is working or not. Okay, it is also called as the INT, means integration testing or string testing, and some part of thread testing. Okay, so mainly how testing is, like example, if we say the login and mailbox they are making. So just they need to check the login and click the login button. So expected is they should open the mailbox. This is how, because the login page is different and home page is different. So once they do the login, so it allow into the another page. So this they made as a integration. So that's how the integration they need to do. After login, they need to enter into the home page. This is a part of the integration. Okay, so next coming to the smoke testing. Smoke testing is done by the developers generally. So once they will build like integrators, what they will do, they will integrate all the modules. Okay, after integrating all the modules, uh, the software integration guy, what he will do, he need to test the software. So whatever the hex file he is getting, no, so that hex file he is going to flash into the ECU. So after flashing that X file into the ECU, he will check the flashing mechanism, whether the software is flashed successfully or not, and whether after flashing the software, whether the build is stable or not. Is stable means he will just power on and he will check whether this stable or not. So that will be a part of the smoke testing. So uh, this is specifically done by the development team of the the development team they will do, and moreover the integration persons also they will do this smoke testing. So like initial build is ready and just we're getting the build, and if it is a passed, it is allowed to the next like unit level testing, system level of testing that can be performed once the smoke test is passed. If it is filed, then they will reject the build. They need to work, the developers or integrated persons, they need to start working on the implementing of the build. Okay, that will be the part of a smoke testing. And regression testing, so it is very important. Every organization or every test engineer, they should follow with the regression testing, means there will be the continuously updation of the software will be happen on each and every time. Okay, so how this is happen, So when they are upgrading the new softwares, okay, suppose here if you see the regression came into the picture. Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, tell me.
Mahendra, can you go for a previous slide once? Like smoke testing.
Smoke testing, yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, continue.
Yeah, and coming to the regression testing. So regression testing is suppose if they added the implementation is about a plus b. Okay, that is what that is the requirement. And next they identified some bug here. So they need to say that a plus b is a bug. I need to do the implementation of b minus a. Then they will do the regression testing. So whether as per the existing functionalities it is affecting or not. Again, they will do the some changes of a into b and c. Additionally, they added c added additionally. So this is some new change or upgradation is happened. So again, they will do the regression testing. So that is a part of the upgradation activity. It will followed towards the regression testing. Okay, so regression testing also called as a rerunning if the code changes. And regression testing is nothing but a full or partial selection of the already tested cases. Means already there will be the test cases will be there. So with the help of that test cases for each and every releases, they're going to execute the test cases because the existing functionalities should not affect. Okay, if you say example, like if you consider the updation of our mobile softwares or any application softwares. Okay, so whatever the functionalities that present in the mobile or app applications, it should work. When you are updating some softwares, the other functionality should not affect, it should work successfully. Okay, so when you are updating the software, the applications, whatever the functionality or features, if it affects, no, it will be a big defect. Okay, so that should be ensured that whenever you are upgrading the software or new features are adding into the software, it should not affect the existing functionality. That will be a part of a regression testing persons will be there. They will do the testing and they will consider for further releasing of the softwares into the market. And it is a overall testing. Whenever new changes is occurred, this will be done. And every time a new model is added into the software and it will be tested. Okay, this is all about regression testing. And next is the sanity testing. Sanity testing is generally done once the build is steady, like smoke test is passed. Now they will do the sanity testing. Sanity testing is about here we have a some selective test cases will be there, and like it is a kind of a similar to the regression. It is a subset of the regression testing, sanity testing. Okay, so if the sanity testing fails, the build will be rejected. Okay, once the if it is passed, the smoke test is passed, the build, again they will do the sanity testing. If here it will check the stability of the software and some of the functionalities. So if it is failed means it will be rejected. If it is passed, they will do after the sanity, they will do the system testing or unit testing or integration testing. So that will be performed after this. Okay, so the definition of the sanity testing is used to verify the uh, system basic functionality of the new software build is working or not. And moreover, we are not going in detail of the majority of the changes in the code or that concepts. So we'll check the um, basic and the top level functionalities or features that present in the module. Okay, like example, if you say uh, if the mobile have the camera and the network, and other concept is like you are able to operate. If some of the updates is happening, those are the majority functionalities. It should work, the call should get, camera should operate, and the locking of the system should work smoothly. So those are the functionality that will be considered as a high impacted requirements. So that will be considered as the sanity testing. And what is a retesting? Retesting is once you identify a defect or bug, okay, so then you are going to intimate to the developers saying that you identify the defect, you need to fix it. So developer, what he will do, he will going to fix that defect, and he will send to the test team again. So what the test team will do, he will do the retest. So what he will do the retest, whatever you identified as a bug, that you are going to do the retesting. If you look here, no, here we have a Gmail ID and password, and just you have a small check sign in. Okay, previously it was not there, the sign in option is not there. This is a bug you identified and you raise the defect on this. So after that they the software is released one more software. In that software they made this stay sign in option. So once this stay sign in option is there, they will verify, the tester will do the retesting of the stay sign in only. Okay, but regression testing, what they will do, they will do this Gmail and password and sign in all together. They are going to test because here the code is changed. Okay, here the code is changed means the new functionality is added, or it is a defect they are fixed in between the modules. So they will do the regression testing. Okay, so retesting is a testing of a particular bug after it has fixed and performed by the same tester who identified the defect in the first phase. This will be a part of a retesting. And retesting is the running the previously filed test case again on the new software to verify whether the defect posted early or fixed or not. So this will be a part of the retesting. That is a definition. And coming to the system testing, so even the developers, whatever they implement the functionalities in the softwares, and moreover the testers who involved as a black box testing, they will do this kind of a sanity testing, the sanity testing, and moreover the integration testing of the system integration and the system testing. So this all phases will be covered as a part of a black box testing that is done by the testers. So here what the system testers will do is, so they will check the software behavior in the hardware, how it will impact, how it is working in the real time, how the software behavior uh, will do whenever we are giving the input. So that will be a part of a system testing. So just without like no we are not going in detail of the code understanding what the logic is happening. Just we are giving the input and we are going to verify with the expected output. That will be the part of a system testing. So here it is also a black box testing as discussed, and we'll done after the integration testing. So generally we are verifying the design and the behavior of the system. So what the customer expects, no, that we are doing as a part of a system testing. And the next phase will be the final phase will be the acceptance testing. So acceptance testing is done by the end users. Okay, so the end users, so what they will do, they after the end users, the product or the software going to release into the market. So that is the final phase of the testing, acceptance testing. Okay, so this is done by the typically by the stakeholders or the developers or the who have a good experts in the accepting of the product in the market. Means in the customer end, they will do this kind of testing. And how they will do, like they will go with the whatever the requirement they provided to the developers or towards the organizations once the product is deployed. So what are they will identify the possibilities of the errors as early stages. Okay, because once it reaches to the users, no, it will be very difficult to get the system back again. So they will do some kind of the testing, so where the users can make it very easily, and if it is filed again, it comes to the organization to implement the activity if acceptance files. Okay, so that is a final phase where the users should be accessed and tested. So it have two levels of testing: the alpha testing and beta testing. Okay, so next is alpha testing. Alpha testing is generally done by the on the test environment. Okay, so here uh, generally the persons who are working towards the customer activity, and within the customer team they will do the alpha testing. Alpha testing is done by the customer end, you need to say, and beta testing is done by the like the real-time users who are using, like us. Suppose we are the mobiles, we are going to use on the real-time activity. Okay, so based on our customer feedback or reviews, or we are going to give the complaints to the uh, team. There will be the support team, IT support team. So whatever we are giving the feedbacks, based upon the feedback, they will add the features of the mobile, or say any of, not only the mobile, any other applications. So based upon the customer feedback, they will take the details and uh, they will start implementing the features into the next version. So that will be a part of a beta testing. Okay, so next, coming to the defect. Okay, what is a defect or bug? As earlier we discussed about, if any mismatch found in the functionality of the software, the action and expected is not met, then it is called a bug. Okay, so any mismatched functionalities found in the application, it is also called as a defect or bug or issue. This is a definition. And during the test execution, we'll find majority of the files. Okay, so for that we need to follow some templates. Okay, so when we are raising the defects, we need to inform the defect. I found the defect, I need to inform you that to the developer. So how you are giving your statement to them, so you should have certain format, means that will be the template you should follow. Else we have specific tools like Jira and Arcium, uh, DevOps, Azure DevOps, so Octane. So there are many tools like that. So with the help of the tools, you will going to intimate to the developers. Okay, so these are the tools we have in the real time. Okay, so what is the flow? Okay, this is a flow, like whenever you are going to create a new uh, with the in the real time tool. So the first state, the status will be the new status always. So now I'm going to create the ticket, so it will be in the state of new. Okay, so now what I am did, I created the ticket. So saying that the logs and description, summary, all and the requirement ID and the test case, all these details are filled in the template or in the Jira. Okay, or that Octane or any tool that you are using to raise the defect. Okay, the status will be new. Okay, so when you are assigning to the someone, the developers. Okay, so it will be assign state. Okay, so once the developer start working on that activity, so whatever the defect you are raised, it will be in a open state. So once he will open and he will analyze the activity. So if it is a duplicate, means if already the defect is there but you created it again, it will be a duplicate. So then he will make as a duplicate. And if and it will be the phase of reject also. If it is an invalid defect, it will be rejected. And it is a deferred is very important. Like deferred, it will shows that it is going to implement in the next release of the software. So it is planned for next release, not now. And it is a future implementation. Such things, it will, the keyword came as the deferred. Okay, and next will be the open. So once that is the analysis they will do, and they will start working, and so they're going to fix the defect. That will be the fixed status. Status is moved to the fixed here. And after fixed, so what they will do, they will reassign to the testers. So the testers will do the retest. So if while doing the retest, if the bug is identified again, means the bug is not fixed, in that case it will be reopened. So it will go to the again to the open state. So if it is a retest is completed and it is a passed, then it will go to the verified and the defect will be closed. Like this is a bug life cycle, like how this process will be followed for the uh, defect tracking. Any doubts on this?
Sir, Jira is a service no tool, right?
Not a service node tool, it is a the tracking of the activities. Jira can be used in many phases, like IT support or
Ticketing tool.
ticketing tool, yes. And moreover, our daily agile process activities, management activities. So there are many activities that we can use for the Jira. It is not only for the ticketing.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Next, as we discussed about the same, like we'll go in detail. So if a tester finds, like the tester or developers, anyone finds the defects, so if the developers finds the defect, means it will be part of a designing. If designer find the defect, means it will be part of the customer requirement. Similarly here, if the tester finds the defect, means it is came from the development team. Okay, so first phase will be the tester. He will find the defect. So what that status will be new. Okay, so he will create the defect as a new. And the second phase, whatever the naming you were seeing right here, so this will be 3. That defect is forwarded to the project manager or for analysis. So generally the developers or project managers will be there in the real time activity. Because we should not assign directly to the developers, because there are the technical leads or technical architects will be there. So they need to analyze the defect, and if it is a valid no, then they will consider. If it is a invalid, they will reject it on the 5th page. So this is the number, as the number you need. This is a fake, and next is the 6. 6 days is, as I told you, deferred. If within the scope, it will be accepted. If not, it is will be deferred. And next 7, it is a duplicate, so it is not considered. And so once the code is fixed, as I told you, so they will do the fixing of the code. Then it will be tested. Then after, if it is a valid, uh, then it will go into the phase of closing of the ticket. If it is a invalid, so they will reopen after the testing. This is a process, like how individually they contribute towards the activity of the rising of the bug. And some other parameters we need to consider when we are raising the defect. Okay, and generally the questions will come, like what are the defect report, and what and all you will consider as a part of a raising the defect ticket. So the first phase will be the defect ID. So defect ID, we when we are raising the defects, no, it should have some identification. So for that, it will be having a defect ID. Next, we'll have a detailed description about what is the defect and why you raise the defect. So it will be a part of a defect description. And you, when you were working on some software, when you were testing some software or developing some software, you should have some version that will be mentioned, and the steps, like what are the steps you followed, and what scenario you created, and how you find it the bug, so that you will give as a steps in detail. And and next is about the data. So like when you are giving the rising the create ticket, no, so there you will give the date of when you are rising, and the reference. So reference like the test cases or the requirement IDs, or some part of screenshot or logs. Logs means, so whatever the data you are taking, that will be a part of a logs. that will be considered as a reference. And so when you are raising the defect, you will give your name, that is important, or some part of IDs will be there, so that will be given. And status, so whenever you are making the changes in the defect ticket, no, so just you will move your status. And the developers who you are going to assign, and data closed, and severity and priority. This is a very important. Severity is how it is impacting the application, and priority is how urgently you need to fix the defect. Okay, that is the priority. And how so it is very important. I need to release the software uh, uh, quickly. So that is a priority, you'll say. Severity is whatever the implementation you made, it is affecting the other features, other functionalities also. That will be coming as a part of severity. Okay, so just we'll go in detail how the severity priority is classified. So severity is classified as a blocker, critical, major, or minor. So these are the 4 parameters. And priority is a P1 and P2 and P3. Means the priority will be like here. It is a high, and medium, and low. So this will be the priorities. Okay, so we'll go in detail understanding of the severe defect severities. So it is classified as a 4 classes, as we told. Blocker means whether the application is crashing and it is not working properly. It is a initial phase. Okay, so where I'm not able to proceed further with that software, that will be a part of a blocker. And critical is where the main functionalities is itself not working. That will be a very critical. Okay, even after first phase is a the software able to flash, but after flashing the software I'm not able to execute. That will come into the critical. And yeah, sorry,
Mahendra, can you go for a previous slide once? Yeah, Mahendra, okay.
so severity, so here a blocker and the critical. Okay, so and major is like some people are working, but it's okay, but I'm not able to extend further. It is a kind of a 50% of chances will be there. That will the major. You'll make it as the defect. When you are raising the defect, no, you need to give this parameters, blocker or critical or major. You need to understand your scope. What is the scope of your defect? So based upon this criteria, the defect will be considered as the high. You need to fix it. Okay, so on the minor is it is a kind of a small spelling mistakes, or some part some equal or unequal conditions. If it is not working, that will be part of the minor. And the priority is considered as the high, medium, and low, as discussed. So high means how immediately you need to fix the bug defect. That will be the high priority. And medium is okay, I can wait for some extent. You can make it a new release, so or next releases also. That will be a kind of a medium. And low is yeah, we'll make it further releases. Now, as of now, it's not required. It's a kind of a low. It is not impacting much. That will be the part of the priority. So just this is one
Mahendra?
small. Yeah, tell me.
Hello.
Yeah.
At what situations the period will be raised? And
Yeah, so this is a one example. If you see, these are the functionalities. Okay, so when you are raising the defect, no, when you are doing the testing, or in the software integration testing, you find some bug. So in that bug, it's creating a big problem. Means some of the applications, like example, if you say in the car, brake condition is not working. Means vehicle is started, you are not able to control your vehicle. That is a critical, right? So in that case, break signal is not working means that is a critical. It is a critical. You will mention that critical in the Jira tool, and you will raise the defect. Okay, so if it is a low, okay, low means like mirrors which is there not properly, that is a low. It is not impacting because automatically it should rotate, but it is not rotating. We can rotate manually. That is a low scenarios. Okay, if you see here, the critical, high, medium and low, and trivial is not required. Functional is something it is crashing or overchanging or some part of a code issues, that will be comes under the critical. High means some part of missing buttons or features, it will be high. And medium means there will be some part of the adjustments in the code or the functionalities. And low means it's not impacting much. These are some related to the GUI activities and the functionalities towards how the applications functionalities will be. Okay, this will understand very easily. So here I mentioned only related to the GUI. So it is to understand how this critical, high, medium, low will change the status. Okay, so these are more examples about low priority, low severity, how we are selecting the spelling mistake. Sorry.
Yeah, GUI means?
Graphical user interface.
Okay.
So how that is impacting, so that will be a part of the conditions, it will say. So towards the severity and priority, how it is impacting to your business or towards the software, towards the product. So that will give the clear understanding to make with the quality of the software. Here the low priority, low severity is if anything spelling mistake or such things, it will comes into the low priority. So this is a low and high if something crashes. And high low severity means something, the color or spelling mistake in the company name, such things it will be. These are related to the web related applications I given as an example.